Welcome to My Yarn Spun Life. I am Lizzie, and this is my yarn channel, or just my channel. Today I really won't talk about yarn that much, although, no. I just want to talk about where I was 5 years ago. I won't go into much detail, and I won't probably bring it up again much, but anyways, today, 5 years ago, I was over in Columbus and OSU having surgery. Yeah, it was quite a time. And this video won't be long. I could almost do a short on it. I might still do a short on it, but I've kind of been not really hooked. I don't really care for shorts, but they are kind of easy and kind of fun making. But anyways, I digress. Anyways, I went to the ER December 2nd on 5 years ago, and it turned sepsis, and yesterday, 5 years ago, they sent me to Columbus, and they went in and cleaned it out, put a wound vac on, and I had the wound vac for quite a few days. Actually, I might put a picture up here with me and with my buddy. I went everywhere with that. Eventually, of course, I got up and started moving around, and yeah, that just went with me. But when they changed it, which they changed it like every 3-4 days, and I eventually got to the point that it wasn't so big. I mean, I had a big, I would put pictures in here, but it would, I mean, I look at the pictures, and I took pictures. I look at the pictures, and it almost makes me sick. So, and I would probably get kicked off of YouTube if I put a pictures up of my incision and my thing they took out. But I remember I woke up from the surgery, and I was like, I've got to pee, and I was ready to get up, go to the bathroom. Nurse said, no, you have a catheter in. I tell you, it took a little while to get used to that, but I had it in for maybe 2 days, and man, that was really a blessing, because I did go the next day. I went down, they looked at it, they said if it still has the infection, they might have to go back in, but thankfully they had gotten it all, and I could drink water, and I didn't have to worry about it. One time my bag got pretty full, and the guy was like, I'm like, I'm drinking water. I didn't really care. You know, I could drink water, and it was beautiful. But anyways, um, yeah, I had that, and I was on very strong antibiotics. I remember one time, I think it was this arm, I had an IV in, and when they were giving the antibiotics, it got, it blew my veins, and it went into my arm. And I remember they had to give me some kind of medicine shot under the skin or something to interact or something, because they said if they would leave it, it could make my skin fall off. So it was very strong antibiotics. But, and then Dewey came down Laura went with me on the ambulance over to Columbus. Actually, Mom and Laura had come to visit me when I found out I had sepsis in Cambridge, and which I should have known something was going on because it was Monday night. I went in. It was the second day in evening in the hospital, and they brought food in for supper. And I love to eat, but I was just not. I just didn't feel like it, and I was running a little fever, and I just fell back asleep, and they called my doctor in. Actually, he was at a baseball game with his kid or something, and he came in and he made the decision to send me over, and they were like, you can't have nothing anymore. And I'm like, well, can I at least have a drink first? He's like, yeah. And they took my food out just as Mom and Laura came in, and they were like, what's going on? And I wasn't sure if I wanted to go. I wanted to stay at home and, close to home until I heard that it was sepsis. And I was like, okay, get me going. It took a little while. I mean, but yeah. Then Dewey came over, and that December was quite hectic. Dewey came over, and then he took Laura halfway to meet Mom that Laura can go home, and he came back to stay with me for a little while, and he wasn't feeling good. And after we asked the nurse if he could check his blood pressure, and she said no, she can't do that. And he went to the ER, and he ended up in the hospital, and they did a catheterization and put a stent in. I think it's called the Widowmaker. But I mean, and so yes, we had a tough December that year. But was I in the hospital so that Dewey would be there, that he could get help? I mean, if we would have been at home, he probably would have had a heart attack, and yeah. So I mean, everything works together for good. So yeah, it's just amazing of what we went through. There's more to the story, but it's been 5 years ago, which I do have videos of that I talked about it some too, but I will put some of the pictures up, like with me and my buddy, the wound back, which it was a bigger hospital grade, so it was quite something. But yeah, so thank you for watching, and remember, Jesus does love you, and he loves us all, and I love you too. Thank you. Bye.